Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to show you guys how to replace your wheel hub assembly. These are the parts you're going to need. You're going to need a torque wrench. You might need a breaker bar, regular socket, extension, and of course the wheel hub assembly part. And you might need some of this in case the bolts are really stuck, to loosen them up a bit. And of course you need a way of lifting the car up, and maybe a jack stand for when you lift the car up to put it under there. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is loosen up those lug nuts while the car is down. All right guys, and the size is gonna be a 15/16 or 13/16, I'm sorry. All right guys, so now that we loosen up the lug nuts, you want to jack up the car. All right guys, so the next thing I would do after removing the tire is I would remove that bolt holding this this cable, because it connects to the caliper, and that way we have extra space to move it out of the way. And that's gonna be let me see, it's a 12mm bolt. Okay guys, the next step is taking off this bolt right here. Those are going to be 14mm. There's one on the top and one on the bottom, and that holds the caliper, the whole caliper. All right guys, so there's the 14mm bolts that attach the caliper, and this is the way I did it. That's why I told you guys to disconnect that hole so you can put it to the side. And I got it resting right there on that big metal frame, and I tied it up with a shoelace right there. But it was stable enough without the shoelace, but I just did extra precautions. That way you don't go down and rip this cable, because it's very important for your brakes. So after that, you're just gonna beat on this. Beat on your rotor right here and try to get it to come out, okay? I'm gonna use a hammer, maybe a pry bar, maybe a flathead screwdriver, but I'll get back to you when I do that. And one more thing, for these 14mm bolts, I did have to use my breaker bar. I couldn't take it off with a regular ratchet. All right guys, I took the rotor off. There it is right there. I just sprayed a little bit right there on the, I sprayed it on the, right there. Well, actually, I sprayed right here and right there in the bolts. And I was having trouble taking it off. Come to find out, I had my parking brake on inside for safety measures, and that was making it not come off. As soon as I put that lever down, it came off easily. All right, so the next step is you have I don't know if you can see, you got 4 bolts back there holding your hub assembly, and they're 14mm guys. So let me do that real quick. All right, so there goes all the four 14mm bolts holding the hub assembly. I did have to use a breaker bar to break them loose, and I came in from the back. I basically laid down over here in the back, that way I could see where the bolts were, and I just leveraged myself that way. Once I got them loose, of course, I just used the regular ratchet. All right, so let's take this off now. And there it is guys, this is the bad one. Like always, we want to compare it to the new part we have. Let's compare to the back, and everything is identical. All right, so now we put it back on, and I'll get back to you when I do that. All right guys, we got the hub assembly, the new one, back on. I just tightened it up with my ratchet, so now it's time to tighten it up with our torque wrench. It's gonna be 55 foot-pounds of torque, plus or minus 5, depending on what you like. I like to be right at the 55, what they put. All right guys, so unfortunately I wasn't able to show you guys me torquing it down, because I had to go from this back angle. Now you want to put your rotor back on. There you go. After that, you're gonna do your caliper. Put your caliper back on. All right guys, I took a little break. It got kind of dark on me, as you can see, but I got the caliper back on. And yes, I know my rotors look pretty bad. That's gonna be coming up next. I'm gonna change the rotors, but I got the caliper back on, and I tightened it up. Now I'm gonna torque it down, and I was gonna tell you guys for the top bolt, I used the short socket. For the bottom bolts for the caliper, I had to use a long one just so I could get in there, because this thing was getting in my way. But anyways, you're gonna torque it down to 45 foot-pounds, okay? After you torque down your caliper bracket to 45 foot-pounds, don't forget to reinstall this little bracket here, and I'll tell you guys how many foot-pounds in a minute. Actually, I didn't torque it down, since this all it's doing is just holding this line here. I just did it with my ratchet as hard as I could. But after that, put your tire back on, and you're gonna torque the lug nuts to 73 foot-pounds. And that's it, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe. It'll help my channel out. And I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you.